Are people fleeing Multnomah County because of property taxes? Well, in today's video, I'm going to discuss how taxes are assessed in the Portland metro area, including all three Portland metro counties, which are Washington County, Clackamas County, and Multnomah County. And if you stick around to the end, like I'd mentioned, I'm going to share with you who gets the highest property tax award. If this is your first time on our channel, hit the subscribe button, tap the notification bell so you can get our latest videos on all things Portland life. We're bringing out content on the weekly, have you be an active part of our community. And if you are thinking about making a move to Portland, all of our contact information is in the description below. Reach out to us. We take calls, emails, texts, and we'll hop on a Zoom call and help you reach your goals on making the move. Before we get started, let's break down what makes up property taxes. It's often very confusing, not only what makes up your property taxes, but how they are paid. Hopefully I can make this a little more simple for you to understand. So property taxes are charges that are levied on property owners by local government entities. In Portland, these taxes are vital for our community, but how exactly do they work? The amount you pay in property taxes depends on your property's assessed value and your location. While the average property tax rate in Oregon is around 1%, Portland can be as high as 2.6%. To calculate your property tax, you multiply your property's assessed value by the tax rate for your area. The good news, your assessed value can't increase by more than 3% per year unless you make significant changes like additions or remodeling. However, if your major renovations that have increased your home's assessed value, or if voters approve local bonds and levies, your tax bill could rise faster. And yes, we've seen that happen quite a lot these past few years. So let's talk about property tax rates and deadlines. Property tax rates in Oregon, they vary by location. Portland often has higher rates due to its specific needs and policies, and knowing these can help you kind of budget a little bit effectively. So property tax deadlines in Portland. Your property tax statements are issued annually on October 25th. You have the option to pay in a lump sum by November 15th, earning you a 3% discount, or in 3 installments due on November 15th, February 15th, and May 15th. Paying in full by November 15th also grants you a 2% discount by paying 2/3 by this date. Now, if you pay your property taxes and your mortgage every month, also known as escrow, then your mortgage company collects your taxes from your monthly payments and they pay it in full in November. So you do technically get that discount if you pay it in full in November. Paying in full by November 15th offers you a 3% discount. But if you have overdue taxes, they must be cleared. Late payments accrue interest at 1.333% per month. Each year, 2 calculations determine your property tax amount in Multnomah County. The lower of these 2 amounts is your tax bill. The first calculation multiplies your assessed value by the tax rate for your code area. And on your statement, when you get it every year, there is a code. The second multiplies your real market value by measure 5 and adds any excluded items. Now, we've talked about Multnomah County being the worst, and in a lot of ways, it's understandable when you see how fast the property taxes have gone up over the years. But let's not forget that Washington and Clackamas County, they're not exactly innocent counties. I tell everyone, depending on where you're looking in these particular locations, you're going to see maybe property taxes be pretty comparable to a lot of areas in Multnomah County, and it's very case by case. So always keep an eye out when you're doing your search. Like, look at the property taxes. It's publicly listed on all major real estate websites, and start kind of noticing the trends. You're going to see a range of where those property taxes sit. Again, if there's been huge improvements on a property, that could influence the property taxes. Or if it's sitting in a new school district, that can influence property taxes. So depending on where you're looking, that's going to be a factor. But again, Washington and Clackamas County are not cheap in terms of property taxes, but they might be cheaper than some of your Multnomah County alternatives, depending on where you're looking. And because you stuck around to find out which county has the highest property taxes, and I bet you're thinking it's Multnomah, let's go into an article I found about this on Oregon Live that came out about last fall timeframe. Why Multnomah County didn't have the highest increase. Now, you may have heard that property taxes in Multnomah County are driving people out in droves. And yes, we do see that happening. In fact, I can tell you, we have people that move to Portland and all they say is, I don't want to live in Multnomah County because I heard the property taxes are so high. And also there's a lot of people selling because they feel like their property taxes just keep going up and up and up with everything going on. So why is it that when all three metro counties have a 3% a year cap on property taxes, one might have a higher property tax than another? That's the question. The real difference lies in levies and bonds. Much of Portland's infrastructure and needs are funded through these measures, adding to that 3% cap. Also, many homes in Portland are older and renovations can trigger higher increases in property taxes. So if you took an older home, added on to it, or did significant improvements, that's going to trigger a higher property tax rate than the 3% cap. However, an interesting article came out last fall that pointed out that Multnomah County didn't actually have the highest increase in property taxes this past year. In fact, Multnomah saw the most gradual increase in overall tax collections at just over 3%. Washington and Clackamas County saw greater increases due to new construction, new bonds, or levies. Have you seen some of the schools going in Washington and Clackamas County? They are massive and like fortresses, and someone has to pay for it. And guess what? That shows up on your property tax statement. Counties set rates and collect property taxes, distributing the funds to various local entities. For instance, Clackamas County's property tax bill totaled about $1.1 billion, a 5.8% increase over last year. This increase was driven by new levies from the Clackamas Fire District and other local bonds in Multnomah County. Assessor Mike Vaughn noted a slowed rate of increase due to sluggish growth in Portland's downtown core. The market value of downtown high-rise buildings dropped 30%, leading to a decline in tax revenue. Washington County saw a 6.5% increase in property tax collections, mainly due to a large spike in new construction and new bonds in Forest Grove and Sherwood. And if you've been driving around throughout the Washington County area, you have seen the infrastructure going in. There is a huge uptick in new construction and buildings.